What is up? What is up? You are listening to The Wulf Hogan Show, or if you are watching this on YouTube, you are watching The Wulf Hogan Show, the greatest podcast on earth to fall asleep to. You should try it sometime. If you are having trouble sleeping at home, just put on The Wulf Hogan Show as you drift on off to dreamland and let the smooth, sensual voice of Wulf Hogan take you to sleep. Alright, I apologize for that. I will never do that ever again. Today's episode is about a great film that came out. I've been looking forward to this film for a very long time. It is none other than Mortal Kombat. I'm going to be referencing the 1995 film a lot in this episode, so bear with me. If you were born after 1995, you probably have no idea what the heck I'm talking about. But that doesn't matter. Let's get right into this episode. Okay, so Mortal Kombat, 2021. The last time we got a Mortal Kombat movie was Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That was the sequel to the 1995 Mortal Kombat film. I don't know when Mortal Kombat Annihilation came out. I just know that when it came out, I enjoyed it a lot. I really did. I watched it repeatedly, just like I did the first one. And I thought it was good back then. I really did. What did I know? I was a kid. Do you know what else I thought was good? SpaghettiOs and Dimetap Elixir. I didn't know shit back then. But if you have seen it, you know how terrible it was. So this new Mortal Kombat film was needed. I don't know if I saw the Mortal Kombat reboot in 2011, was it? Michael J. White playing Jax. I think it originally was a film, and then they turned it into a 2-season online TV show, something like that. But I didn't hate that. I didn't. I thought that was interesting. They made the Mortal Kombat universe a little more realistic. They based it in our reality. They didn't go like crazy realistic, like Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li realistic, but they kept Earthrealm more human, which was, cool for the time, I think. But this Mortal Kombat, 2021 Mortal Kombat, is much different. They go all in. And I really enjoyed this film. I really did. On Twitter, I see a lot of people talking like crap about it. They're saying there weren't enough characters. They're saying a lot of the characters weren't fleshed out. Like they didn't have enough setup for a lot of the characters. I've heard a lot of things. My response to that is there are a lot of characters in the Mortal Kombat universe. Tons of characters. There was no way they were going to fit all those characters into the first film. And if they tried, it would be a jumbled mess because you'd have to create backstories for dozens and dozens of characters. I don't know if you played the newest Mortal Kombat game, but there's a ton of characters. And if you go back and watch any Mortal Kombat animations, even if you just stick with the games from over the years, you're dealing with, I don't know, let me find out. Hold on a second. 97 characters in the Mortal Kombat universe. So, if you wanted to fit all those characters in, it would be a jumbled mess of... that's not realistic. It isn't. But I do understand where they're coming from when they say they wanted more characters. Looking at it from a realistic standpoint, the characters they did use was the right amount for the very first film. If this is going to be 4 films like they're hinting towards. If you didn't already know, this Mortal Kombat film, it's not even about the tournament. They don't even go to the tournament yet. This is just a basic setup of the universe. The tournament is explained, and we do meet some characters. They have a new character, which is Cole Young. I'm pretty sure he's brand new to the Mortal Kombat universe. Some people are saying, why did they bring in a completely new character when they have 97 characters? I think Cole was created for like exposition. So people who are coming into the Mortal Kombat universe through this film and have absolutely no idea about Mortal Kombat at all, when things are explained to Cole, it's like they're being explained to newcomers to the franchise. I get it. I liked Cole. I'm going to get a little more into what I liked about his character shortly. So first, I'm just going to go down the list of the characters, the Mortal Kombat characters in this film. And then I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I thought about the ones that stuck out. There were some characters that really didn't do much. They were there just, I don't know. I guess they moved the story along, but they really didn't do much of anything. Maybe they were just there for member berries. They're like, oh, I remember that character. Wow. I love playing that character in the game or whatever. But they looked cool, but a lot of the characters just didn't stand out to me. Okay, so we have Makad Brooks, who played Jax. We had Jessica McNamee, who played Sonya Blade. Joe Taslim, who played Sub-Zero. Lucas Tan, who played Cole Young. Sissy Stringer, who played Melina. Wait, hold on a second. Hopefully I'm not butchering this name. Hiroyuki Sanada, who played Scorpion. Ludi Lin, who played Liu Kang. Elisa Cadwell, who played Nitara. Josh Lawson, who played Kano. Todanobu Asano, who played Raiden. Sorry if I butchered the name. Chin An, who played Shang Tsung. And Max Huang, who played Kung Lao. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I butchered a lot of those names, but please know that I tried my best. So, not all those characters make it. And I guess that's needed because if every single character that's introduced were to live, by the time the second or third film comes around, you're going to have about 35 characters, probably. You're going to have probably about 35 characters, all alive and well. So a lot of these characters they didn't make it. And some I was a little, raw about, but I think it's for the better. Personally, I think they have 2 to 3 more films already written, or at least a nice outline of what direction they want to go in. So I'm just going to go down the line and just talk about some of the characters that stood out to me. So Makad Brooks as Jax. I really liked his character. He was believable as like a soldier, like a super soldier. He really didn't do a whole lot in the film, but what he was given, he really ran with, and he was super committed to that character. Next is Jessica McNamee, who played Sonya Blade. She was really good too. She was a good Sonya Blade. I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day about the young woman who played Sonya Blade in the 1995 film. And he was telling me that he found the 1995 Sonya Blade just to be bitchy without really much personality or, anything to really back up the bitchiness. Like she was just bitchy for no reason, he was saying. And I understand that. Like, I sort of got what he was talking about. Especially when he compared her to this Sonya Blade. This Sonya Blade she's not really bitchy, she's very tough, very thick-skinned. And we see her in a constant feud with Kano. And instead of her just being mean for no reason, she's just, protecting herself from Kano or, whoever else she comes into contact with that meets her with hostility. Next we have Joe Taslim, who is Sub-Zero. I believe he is in the Raid films, which are like iconic martial arts films. I've only seen part of the first Raid film, and from what I've seen, he is absolutely amazing. And he brings like this sinister vibe to Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero in this film is almost like a horror movie character. Sort of in how if you were watching Halloween and or actually not Halloween, Friday the 13th, and every time and you'd see some teenagers like walking around the woods, and then when you hear the you're like, oh crap, somebody's about to get fucked up, and Sub-Zero had that, except when he was about to go fuck someone up, it would start to like icicles would start to form, around the characters, or there'd be, snow would start to fall, and then he would come out of nowhere and do whatever. But he was super menacing, and I liked that a lot. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with who Sub-Zero becomes, but I believe, actually, I can't really talk about that. But Joe did a really good job playing Sub-Zero in this film. And actually, the first 7 minutes of the film have been released on like YouTube or whatever. We got a chance to see Sub-Zero and Scorpion fight before they actually became Sub-Zero and Scorpion. So this is back in like Japan in 1617. They exchange words, and it's really cool. They showed where the whole feud between Sub-Zero and Scorpion came from. I mean, they really don't go into too much depth. Hopefully, in future films, they show more of where that hatred came from. Next is Lucas Tan. Lucas Tan is the brand new character, Cole Young. As I said before, I believe they created a new character so newcomers to the franchise can experience things for the first time, just like Cole does, because he's new to the universe. I enjoyed... is it Lucas Tan or Lewis? Hold on a second, let me see. Oh, it's Lewis Tan, not Lucas. But yeah, I enjoyed him as Cole Young. You know, there's a thing in the film where each of the chosen fighters has to figure out what their power is. So if you are chosen to fight in Mortal Kombat, your power will reveal itself to you. And I really enjoyed his power. I wasn't sure as to what his power was going to be. Before the film even came out, there was a lot of speculation as to what it could possibly be. They were saying, oh, is he going to be Scorpion, or is he going to be Johnny Cage, or is he going to be such and such and so and so. But it turns out he's just, a new character, like some of us, thought all along. I had no idea. But I really do enjoy his powers. Next is Hiroyuki Sanada, who is Scorpion. This gentleman, the actor, he is phenomenal in this role. I mean, he's phenomenal in every single role that he does. I think the last thing I saw him in was, if I'm not mistaken, was he in Westworld? Let me see here. Yeah, he was in Westworld. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, he was fantastic in Westworld. He, I think he was in The Last Samurai as well. He just has a very like ancient Japanese look to him. And he plays those characters very well. He's very I don't know how he is in real life, but he just carries himself in a very serious manner. And I think that's what the cinematic version of Scorpion needs. I think if they were to go like a campy route, I think Scorpion has been campy in the past, and I think if they were to do that nowadays, I don't think it would have been received well. I think hyper realism is what the people want nowadays, and this movie delivered on the hyper realism, especially with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Next is Ludi Lin, who is Liu Kang. Last thing I saw him in was the Power Rangers film. He was the Black Ranger. He seems like a cool guy. He was a good Liu Kang. They didn't give him much to work with. Liu Kang wasn't the main character like he was in the 1995 version. In this film, Cole Young was the main character. But I enjoyed Liu Kang. I enjoyed his power. His fire abilities, his bicycle kick. His fire abilities looked really, really sick in this film. I also loved the wardrobe that they chose for him in this film. It was like the traditional Mortal Kombat attire, except super battle ravaged at one point. It looked really cool. I think they're going to do more with him in later films, but I think what we got from him right now was a good introduction to the character. Josh Lawson, who played Kano. Before I saw the film, I saw online, and a couple of friends of mine were saying this, that Kano stole the show, Kano is hilarious, and this and that, and I couldn't wrap my head around it, because I'm used to the Kano from the 1995 version, who's this gruff Australian guy, gruff exterior. He's not I never really thought of. I mean, he had some wisecracks in the 1995 version, but nothing like this version. He was fantastic in this. He was cussing everybody out. He was in everybody's face. You couldn't tell him shit. He really brought a lot of character to Kano that I wasn't expecting. To me, Kano never really had much personality. In the games, he had sort of a personality, but I don't know. he was never one of my favorite characters. He wasn't very likable to me, but this actor gave him a soul. And I read that the reason Johnny Cage is not in this film is because Johnny Cage is supposed to be like a wisecracking, douchey kind of guy, and I don't think that would have worked. Two like douchey guys always, cracking wise. I think the balance wouldn't have been there. Kano would have been like talking shit all the time. Johnny Cage would have been talking shit all the time. It would have just been weird. Next is Tadanobu Asano, and he's Raiden in this film. The reason why I am talking about him, he really didn't do much to stand out in the film. I believe he was a good Raiden. I just liked how they cast Raiden with an Asian actor. It just felt right. Like, I think a buddy of mine was saying, that the 1995 Mortal Kombat cast Raiden as a generic white guy, and then in Mortal Kombat Annihilation they cast him with an even more generic white guy. So I think in the game he'd been Caucasian as well. So I mean, it would have worked if they cast him with a Caucasian actor, but I think he stood out as an Asian actor, and his powers looked really, really sweet in the movie too. The character Shang Tsung in this film didn't really stand out to me. He was like sort of generic and evil. His costume was really cool. I mean, like, all the costumes were great. Like, the costumes, the set design, they were just really, really, really nice. But I really liked how Shang Tsung's voice sounded. It was just like multiple voices coming from one person, all speaking in unison, because he has so many souls in him. And he did the thing, he did the, your soul is mine thing. And I'm not going to really go into detail about that. But, I mean, I guess it was expected of him to do that. But it looks really cool. So, yeah. So, overall, I really enjoyed this film. I think they're going to continue with the franchise. There were a lot of tweets from the cast saying that if this film is successful, they were going to make more films, obviously, but I think it was the actor who played Sub-Zero. He was saying that if the film is successful, he has already signed on for 4 more films. So, yeah, I'd say this was a success. I mean, people are gonna try to pick it apart and nitpick things they don't like, but I think once another film comes out with a continuation of the story, maybe the tournament will be in the second film, hopefully. If not, it would be interesting to see where they go. If they don't have the tournament until like the very last film in the franchise, it would be interesting to see how much stuff they can fit into multiple films before actually getting to the actual tournament. Personally, what I think is going to happen, and this is just my guess, so this is not based on any actual fact, except for what we've heard in the Mortal Kombat universe, Mortal Kombat lore from the video games, and some from the new film that just came out. I think since this film is not the actual tournament, and this is just like, them coming into their own skin, I think the second film is going to be the tournament. Since Outworld has won all the tournaments. I think it was 9 well, I think you need 10 tournaments to like take over, I believe. They won 9. So I think Earthrealm is going to win this tournament. Then I think they're going to have 2 more films where Outworld comes back and wins another tournament. And then the last film, Earthrealm is going to have to win another one. Maybe they'll do that. I mean, now that I say it out loud, it doesn't sound nearly as sweet as what I was thinking it in my head. But we will see. We will see. A couple more things that I just jotted down while watching the film. These notes may not make sense, but I'm going to read them anyway. Outworld, it did feel real. It felt like a real place. It didn't feel thrown together. It felt like these characters had existed in this world for generations. It felt lived in. Sort of how when you watch like Lord of the Rings or when you watch any of the Chronicles of Narnia films, it feels like the world is steeped in tradition. And the characters have been, living and dying in this world for generations. So that was really neat. It was a nice introduction to the characters and the world, especially for people who have no idea about Mortal Kombat whatsoever. Fighting was great. Some of the fights were a little bit cheesy, but a lot of the fights were amazing. And there were like little things that I noticed. Like a lot of the actors were real fighters or like real athletes. And they did their own stunts. And you can tell. And it has a hard R rating. So that's really cool. I think if they were to go PG-13, I don't think it would have been well received. Because you gotta show fatalities, The ending of the film. I really like the ending of the film. I'm not gonna say what it is, just in case people haven't seen it. But it leaves a lot open. It sets up the possibilities. It sets up possibilities for sequels and spin-offs. And sequels and spin-offs are like the whole point, really, in like this studio movie making system. Unfortunately, it's not really about creativity that much anymore. It's just about making as much money as possible, making toys and clothing, posters, video games. I mean, I guess this film is based on a video game, but you know what I mean. I already said the thing about the actor signing on for 4 more films. But the last note I have was I really enjoyed the tone of the film. It was dark, it was gritty. There was a sense of, like, between Sonya and Jax, there was like a family bond. There were like siblings. It felt like the characters had grown up with each other. I don't know if they knew each other before this, but you felt for the characters while watching. Cole Young, the new character, I was rooting for him the whole time. Like, I wanted him to win. If you haven't seen the film already, I'd say see it. If you have, I'd say see it again. I'm probably going to watch it about 3-4 more times before they pull it off HBO Max, just so I get the full effect of the Mortal Kombat cinematic universe. But enough from me. I want to hear from you. Tell me what you thought of the film if you saw it. Tell me what direction you think they're going to take the film. You can contact me at thewulfhoganshow@gmail.com. That's Wolf with a U. Yeah, let me know what you thought of the film. Let me know if you loved it, if you absolutely hated it. And if you hated it, tell me exactly why. You know, I talked to some friends that really did not like the film, and their reasoning was valid. I understood what they were talking about. Also, if you want to follow the Wulf Hogan Show on social media, you can find us on Twitter at Wulf Hogan Show, that's Wolf with a U, or on Instagram at The Wulf Hogan Show. And also, if you would like to help us out in any way, help us reach our goal of owning our own creative space, you can visit our Patreon at patreon.com/The Wulf Hogan. I don't consider myself a "the" like I'm important, but Wulf Hogan was already taken for some reason. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Please, if you know anyone who would like to hear this episode of the podcast or see this video, please point them in this direction. Also, if you do enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. I know these are trying times, but please hang in there. We are all in this together. Please be kind to one another. God bless, and peace out.